You know what I did this week, dude? That's very interesting. So I've been on this journey, of losing all like my ego towards like female attention and stuff like that. I read this book that has fully like kind of taken it, thrown it out.
Quran.
It's called The Holy Quran. And so now I throw out the women and bring in the wives, if you know what I mean. Take out the hoes, bring in the wives. It's called Models by Mark Manson.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, dude, I just read it and it was just like, dude, it just took away all this. Maybe I just needed somebody else who, went through it to tell me. But
Is it called Dolls?
It's called Models.
Models, okay.
And literally, it's just talking about him, just talking about like fucking the idea of how dumb it is to go from a validation mindset. Mm-hmm. All these we talked about. Mm-hmm. The outside validation is stupid. It wastes your life. There's no. But hearing someone talk about it in book form, fucking, I was just like loving it. I read the whole thing and I was like, oh, just kind of like, just in my body, when the truth, you read it, but truth takes there's a truth delay where your body has to learn it. So my head learned it. I was like, oh, I get this. And then my body felt the truth. And I was like, oh, I really feel this now. Yeah. This lack of.
Okay, so what did you learn though? Just not to seek validation from vaginas?
The idea, well, he made it into two. He made it into two concepts. The reason you feel this way towards women or whatever is neediness, the neediness of validation, the neediness of think I'm awesome, all this stuff, and then you're not vulnerable. So high vulnerability and
I've been telling you this for years, but okay.
You said I'm gay, I think, a couple of times. That's all you said.
But that just made you go harder for the pussy.
Yeah.
I got to prove my boy who I love, my boy who's handsome.
Sexually. But the neediness and the low vulnerability. So it's like the idea of like you being needy is lame and fucking not cool, and also not being vulnerable. Like you can't show who you actually are.
Right.
So these two things, when you're not needy and you are vulnerable, it takes away all the onus on them, all the power from everyone else, and puts it squarely on your shoulders. And so I always had this in my brain, but once it's there for stand-up, but once I had it for female attention, it all kind of made sense. And then I could feel it kind of working,
How so?
I started like in a room, I started treating
women as people.
Women as people.
That's what you're about to say.
I was gonna say I treated the two like a 10, but I didn't say that.
That's better.
Ostensibly the same thing.
What are you, the Dalai Lama or something?
Ostensibly, that's the fuckboy version of what you said. Women are people, twos are 10s now. It's the same thing. We're saying the same thing here.
We're all one.
Yes. And that's why the Dalai Lama...
thing is, you're always nice to everybody.
I see beauty in everybody. That's great.
That's the thing about you. It's like you're not a dickhead.
No.
You're a fucking super nice, sweet dude. So you always treat twos as 10s.
Yes.
Even in comedy, you treat comedy twos like they're 10s. Are you saying that you banged a 2?
I did not.
Okay.
I would never.
Hey.
No, I would.
He would.
Sorry. Mark. Ah! Well, it's just the idea of like, but that idea of like me from like a person that maybe is super hot is dissipated.
Yeah. And, here's the paradox of that is when that dissipates, that just brings them more and more towards you.
But the beauty is if you truly have learned it, it shouldn't matter.
Shouldn't matter.
You know what I'm saying? If you get excited because you're getting the attention now, then you've actually not had the truth really.
So